I love it, I love it. You like it. Welcome to the huddle. A new year, a new huddle. Y'all don't hear me. I got a whole lot of love that I want to give. But y'all don't hear me. I've been naming the police. Take this, you gon' like this. She asked me how this. She asked me how I know. I say I'm psychic. And now she asking for more, so I give her more. Oh, what she asking for? I let her choose where we eat, choose where we go. She don't ask me nothing cause she already know. If you like it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Welcome to the huddle, the first huddle of 2024. Still we all we got, we all we need. Still each one teach one, still each one reach one. If you are that one, you are enough. You are enough to fight the good fight when everything going wrong. You are enough to make things right. Still, 2024, we ain't holding back no more. Good God Almighty. Welcome to the huddle. Want to give a shout out, man, to my executive producer. She make a lot of this thing happen. Whole lot of this here thing happen, man. So thankful for her. She's my wardrobe coordinator. She's my wardrobe coordinator. I say, baby, this is the first huddle of 2024. I say, what I'm wearing today, baby? She said, you got to wear that green because it's time to go. It's time to go. So let's go, baby. 2024. Want to give a shout out, man, to my home girl, the greatest co-host in the whole world. I'm gonna start off by letting her know, because we already know on this here show that it's about polarity. She's the feminine energy, the ground that hold me down. So I just want to let her know I appreciate her. Because when a woman feels the way she need to feel, she'll do what she needs you to. So Alexa, I appreciate you.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual.
That's how we're going to start off the 24. Alexa, I love you.
Thanks for
just
saying
like before.
I love you. You're just as sweet as pie.
She talking about me.
Know that I'll be here for you.
Who? What?
Always your trusty AI.
Alexa, who is the master?
The Honorable Trav P.
Shout out to my brother Raymond Tate. He talk about that AI. I asked her that for you, my brother. And I say this to say, the A stands for artificial. The I is intelligent. Artificial is fake. Real intelligent will always be supreme. So therefore, we program the artificial. Never feel the fake when you are the real. Good God Almighty. We coming hard in 2024. We ain't holding back no more. We like to start off every show with a hero hymn. The hero hymn is the mighty spirit. We know the spirit means wind. We know the spirit means breathe. We know the spirit means air. We know that the breathing of the air travels through your respiratory system. It begins in an inhale And as I inhale the mighty wind, the mighty spirit, and it travels through my vocal cords, it causes a vibration that we know as sound. In that sound, we feel it more than we hear it. That is when we connect in the hero hymn. That is why we do the hero hymn to start off, because I want you to feel me just as much as you hear me. So tonight's hero hymn says, the beginning of 2024, we're going to establish a connection in this here huddle. And it says, I got the power. Hey, hey, hey. And it's getting kind of heavy. I got the power. Oh, oh, oh. And it's getting kind of heavy. Feel me when I tell you, you got the power. I got the power. The preacher man say, by the power invested in me. Well, I say, preacher man, the same power is in me, and the same power is in you. So in 2024, let it all go, but first, you must understand that you got the power. You got it. It's in you. It's been invested in you from the first breath you breathed. I got the power. Oh, and it's getting kind of heavy. Can you feel it? If you can feel it, you got it. Tonight's word, man. It's 2024 word. This is how we're going to start it off. Tonight's word is great. What are you great at? Are you great? What do you determine to make something great? This is going to be a great year. This is going to be the greatest year. This is going to be the greatest year I've ever lived in my life. Because every year since the day I was born, I've been getting better and better. I've been growing. I'm better than I used to be. So this here year will be the greatest year. Because it's going to be a better me. See how that work? Alexa, what is the meaning of great?
Great means exceptionally large in size, of great importance, or highly significant. It can also mean excellent or impressive. As an adjective, it describes something of superior quality. As an interjection, it expresses acceptance, approval, or admiration.
It expresses something of higher quality. Are you great? What are you? This ain't a trick question. Are you a father? Are you a husband? Are you a parent? Are you a wife? Are you a brother? Are you a sister? Are you a daughter? Are you a son? What are you? What quality of that are you? I'm a great father. And the most powerful thing about being a great father, that's not determined by me. That's determined by my children. I aim for greatness. It's not so much in doing, but it's in being. You got to be great. How do you be great? You give your all with the most purest intentions of your soul. I ask a question. And sometimes I want y'all to understand this in 2024. That the question is oftentimes more powerful than the answer could ever be. Because the answer could change through your levels of growth, through your levels of maturity. But the question will always remain the same to make you evaluate yourself. So remember that when you hold on to the question. They say, I have grown into a better me. I'm growing, baby, 'cause I'm better than who I used to be. How do you know? Because I stand in the mirror. You stand in the mirror and you ask yourself questions like what matters and who matters. And those answers change from your 20s to your 30s to your 40s. Things that mattered to me when I was 20 don't matter now. People that matter now in my 40s and 30s wasn't here when I was in my 20s. But the question remains the same. What matters and who matters? Because when you understand that, it makes loving them easy. And when you can love something easy, it's about being. And that's what makes you great. We romanticize the ideas of becoming with no reality of being. Everybody want to become. You got couples who've been together for years, who have ideas of being or becoming husband and wives. But throughout these years, they're not being committed to the level that it takes to be that. Rappers want to be famous in music. They want to become famous. They want to become something in music, but then when you be around them and you say, sing, spit something, it becomes a complex to be because they're so focused on becoming. That is the gateway to being great. When you're great, it's effortless. What are you great at? What are you exceptionally above quality? Alexa, what is the meaning of great?
Great refers to something of remarkable quality, size, importance, or significance. It is used to describe exceptional individuals, accomplishments, or events that stand out for their size, impact, or importance. Greatness can be found in various aspects of life, expressing admiration, appreciation, or approval.
LB, you already know, brother, hero in the huddle. Sister Elb, I love you. You better than you used to be. You damn right, sister. I'm watching you grow. I'm listening to you grow. I'm seeing you grow. Keep on growing, sister. As long as you living, you never stop growing. Keep on, sister. I believe in you. Blow, say, good God, oh, Almighty. Alexa, one time.
Good God Almighty, Trab P, you blanking.
That's for you, Blow. That's for you, Blow. Alexa, say, we blanking. But being great, I ask the question, I say, is there or has there ever been a time that you can consider yourself one of the greatest in the world at doing something? And just like I told you, the question is always greater than the answer. So I had to ask myself that question. And see, we all wake up every day and go to work and do something for a living. When I was 18, I got the job at a paper mill in the converting department. I was fresh out of high school. I was hurt emotionally because I didn't go to college. I felt like I was stripped away of my opportunity to truly prove that I was one of the greatest football players to ever come out of Charlotte. So I went to work at a paper mill with a chip on my shoulder, ready to prove something. So I wanted to prove that I was the greatest paperboard converter ever lived at 18. I began to understand this company. Now I'm talking about me, and I ain't making this story about me, but I'm using what I know to make the point. Because I am you and you are me, and we all we got, we all we need. Just like you wake up every day and go add value by working, putting your energy, putting your power, giving your essence to something. See yourself in it. I go to work. And I run this pasting machine. And I work for a paper industry. We're the largest paper industry in America. We produce more paperboard in America. No company, no group, no manufacturing group. We are the #1 manufacturing group in the world for paperboard industry. My plant has a manual paster feeder. There's been many greats before me who have mastered this machine. This machine was paid through production. They valued the operators of this product so much that they gave them an incentive to say, if you produce this much, beyond this much, you control your own financial destiny. We will have to pay you in abundance to everything you produce after this expectations. So the greatest of the world at doing this job for the greatest paper company in the world pushed it to the limits. This was one of the only jobs in Charlotte. It had a 100-year history of manufacturing. That an illiterate black man who came up through Jim Crow and couldn't read and write, but worked at this here mill and was one of the top tier paying jobs in Charlotte. So much that these type of men began to own small businesses, small stores. It took a lot of pride and to be at this job. You had to want to be the greatest at doing it to do it. Because if you was the greatest at doing it, it came with an honor that says, I make good money because I'm great at what I do. How many of y'all go to work and work like this? Just a pride thing. I ain't making this sound too deep. Just a pride thing. How many of y'all go to work with pride to do what you do, to be the best at what you do? Well, that was me at 18. And this was a manual thing that was about my hands, that came with rhythm. I pick up a piece here and push a piece here. And because I always was thinking about music, everything was a beat. So I began to control my fingers and my body to create my own groove so much that I began to break barriers of production. I was pushing it to the limit to become the greatest manual paster in America. I make it sound extravagant, and I want it to sound like, oh man, he was great. But I was just a prideful young man going to work, trying to be the best he could be on the job. Just so happened that the job that I was doing was for the largest, best, greatest paper manufacturing company in America, and I just happened to be running the main machine that represented this company. And they gave me a level of expectations that I wanted to exceed. And as I exceeded these levels of expectation, only in a new world with a young attitude and a young spirit that had a rhythm that most of these old men and young black men had never seen before, I just came with a groove and it catapulted me and my partner twin into ways that they couldn't imagine. So much that they had to change the production system. They broke it because I broke it. So much, so much, so much. That I became representation of this company, this plant. I became the boss. So much because just the pride that I put into doing this job. And when I began to travel to the other companies within this corporation, without America, my name was known as the greatest manual paster that ever lived. Now this sounds egotistic, but I wanted to sound egotistic in the 24, because like I told you, this was 15 years ago, and I was just a young man going to work with pride to be the best that I can be. And that's why I told you, just think about it. The question is always more powerful than the answer. Think about what you do every day. Think about how possible that you could be one of the greatest to ever do what you do. Because if there's a level of expectations of quality and you reach that, then there's nothing greater than you. There might be some great as. There might be some great as, but not greater. So if you're a parent and you talk to your children, you discipline your children, you teach your children, you do all the verbs of being a parent, you are the greatest. At least aim to be in those eyes of those that depend on you. You don't think you're the greatest husband in your wife's eyes? You don't think you're the greatest wife in your husband's eyes? You don't think you're the greatest son in your parents' eyes? Well, maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe that's what we're going to change today. You got to wake up and be great. Don't wake up trying to become great. Wake up and be great. When I was 28 years old, I can look back. I'm not talking about what I'm great at now. I use that story to talk about something 15 years ago, just because I think about the question, have I ever been something the greatest in this world? And 15 years ago, the University of North Carolina State sent a group of engineers from the engineering department to my job and spent 8 hours monitoring my hands, documenting my hands, the speed of my hands. They came with the intentions of creating a simulation of a machine that could paste the flat pieces of paper to do what my hands were doing, because all the other plants were pasting off a roll, but the rounding shape became a quality issue. So it was a magnitude of the flat paper, and the only person that could place the flat paper within this whole industry was the leader through me. So they came and studied my hands. I called one of my paper industry colleagues who's now the general manager of a paper plant that worked under me 15 years ago. He said, man, nobody's doing the manual pasting no more. It technologied out. You were the last phase of that, Travis. 15 years ago. 15 years ago. That's why I say the question is always more powerful than the answer. If you just think about the question, have there ever been any point in your life that you were one of the greatest at doing something? How many of us has been truly great and don't even know it? Junior, we all we got, we all we need. Wag one. Big brother Tate, you already know. Y'all great men. You great men. I'm telling you right now, you great men. You're enough. The most powerful thing you can pay is your attention. If you're paying me some attention right now or in the replay, I want you to know that your attention is so powerful and I value it so much that it's some of the greatest attention that I've ever been paid. How great are you? How great are you? I'm the greatest in the world at this here, what I do. One thing about being great, I ain't talking about becoming great. I'm talking about being great. And I'm talking about being great at being a father, being great at being a husband, being great at being a co-worker, being great at everything you do. It's about constantly being in the moment to prove it. The whole world is going crazy about Cat Williams. He's making some bold claims. I love his analogy. He says a lot of people that skip line, they get the juice. They get the attention, the lights, and the glamour. They become a gimmick. And some of the greats, man, who put that work in, they said they never get that true chance to be in the lights or glimmer. Well, I say, well, sometimes that's just how it works. The truth really ain't never popular. See, popular culture is rooted in trend. See, Michael Jackson was the king of pop. He was the king of popular culture. Yeah, some say he was the greatest entertainer in the world. But his arch nemesis was Prince. Prince was one of the greatest musicians in the world. He could sing, he could dance. He could do all of this. But Prince was never considered a pop artist. He was never one who represented the popular culture. That's why Michael Jackson is the king of pop. Not the king of soul. Not the king of R&B. Not the king of blues, but the king of popular culture. So when you know you're great, don't always associate that with popularity. So that's what Kevin Hart is, that's what Cat Williams is saying. These cats on steroids, they ain't been in the gym. They ain't been off when it wasn't but 3 people in the audience. And you looked out there in the audience and saw that those 3 people were enough. And you gave them a show that millions will never see, but it captivated and cultivated their heart, that 3 people witnessed true greatness in that moment. See, this is my 100th episode. Right now, I got 7 people watching me. You 7 are enough. You 7 are enough. Every time I talk, every time I teach, every time I sing, I give my soul the greatest power of that's invested in me. And if don't 7 know it tonight, and this is one of the greatest prolific messages I ever give, I want you to know that you 7 right now, and how many ever may see it on the replay. You great, and I'm great, and we great. And we all we got, we all we need. We all we need to be great. We all we need to be great. We all we need to be great. You see how that works. So I ask the question again. What are you great at? What are you great at, man? What are you great at, sister? You already know what time it is, LB. Ain't nobody got to know. But if you great, somebody benefited. That's why you a hero. That's why you a shero. Because it's people that can depend on you. And I promise you, I promise you with all that I got, if somebody can depend on you, and they know you ain't never let them down, well, you better bet your bottom dollar you great in their eyes. You're great in their soul. You're great in their heart. You're great. Not because you want to be. Not because you're trying to be. But because you is. Because you is. You're a human being. You're a human being. The power that's invested in you. You're a human being. God. You're a human being. Love. You're a human being. Dignity. You're a human being, happiness. And when you being all of these things that have loving, wonderful connotations, you're great to anybody that receives it. It's 2024. This is the year of the ego. The ego has been put down for so many years. There's been rhetoric about the ego. Oh, your ego. We always put a negative connotation. Well, the ego is necessary. The ego is about balance. Cartoons display the ego versus consciousness throughout your whole life. The ego is the pride. The ego is the self-esteem, the self-image. The ego is the one that says, I'm not going to take that. The ego tells you what you're worth. The opposition of the ego is consciousness. The consciousness sees the bigger picture. The consciousness puts reason to the ego to say, I know you're being disrespected. I know you want to defend yourself, but if you defend yourself right now and in an uncontrolled manner, the conscience says you may lose your job. You may put yourself in a dying situation that causes those that depend on you to suffer. So the ego begins to put reason to the conscience. And the conscience begins to put logic to the ego. But for so long, we've been out of balance and we've been denying the ego. Denying the ego makes you feel ashamed to look in the mirror and say, I am great. Because for so many years, when we look into the mirror and we say, I am great, when we let the ego roar, we say, I am great. Then the consciousness, through fear and all these other tactics, tell you to be humble. You're not important. And while great men and great women battle with our ego, suppressing it, we allow the ego of raw, no good intentions to roar and soar and become popular and get the voice and the narrative that represents us. Well, that's going to change today if you're listening to me. 24 is the year of the ego. I am great. I am strong. I am powerful. I am unapologetic that I rightfully commit to fight this here good fight. And of me expressing that I am great amongst the narrative of mediocrity and everything that ain't real, we ain't apologizing and feeling unapologetic no more in the 24. This is the year of the hero. The year of the ego. I feel Cat Williams. This is my 100th episode. This is my 100th episode. My 100th episode for 100 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I said, you ain't never really watched my show. They say, no, but I'm going to watch it this week. Oh, this is my 100th episode. Out of 100 weeks, you mean to tell me you ain't said, let me see what he talking about. I've been great for 100 weeks. And every one of my brothers and sisters that have come here for 100 weeks have been great with me. This is a huddle. And if you're familiar with a huddle is when we come in between plays, in between timeouts, to have a discussion about our circumstances, our position in the game, to make adjustments, to have conversations, to get a play going, to get a goal, real sure our goal. And when we break the huddle, we go run the play. And when we run the play, we run it with intentions of first down, touchdown, advancement, or to defend those from advancing against us. And when we make it back to the huddle, we say, hell yeah. So if you've been in this huddle within the last 100 weeks, I already know you great. I talk about how I was the greatest pacer operator, but I couldn't operate that machine by myself. I had a partner. I had several partners throughout the years, but one of the rawest partners that truly pushed me into the pinnacle to say I was the greatest was Jared Simpson, twin. I don't know if he ever considered himself to be the greatest, but I couldn't have been great without him. He's the greatest too. Don't let nobody put a connotation on your ego. Let your ego roar. Let your ego soar. Being great don't make you bad. Being great don't make you wrong. Knowing it don't make you unhumble. Knowing it don't make you arrogant. Because one of the things about knowing it is you got to understand that you ain't the only one. I'm just one of the ones. And the fact that I'm unapologetic about being great, I hope that I attract other great people to be a part of me in my movie, in my reality, in my team, and we be great together to truly embody what we say in this here huddle. We all we got, we all we need. And if you ain't great or see yourself as great, you don't understand. But if you're paying me some attention, I know you do. I'm saying that to you because Expectations is the seed of disappointment. So don't you be disappointed in expecting somebody to get this here ism that ain't got it. I say there's a power invested in you. The preacher man play games and say it's in him, but you say, no, it's in me too. And I represent mine. I represent mine. The power invested in me say, my voice. My voice. If the power in you say your voice, then we're going to sing in harmony. We're going to talk in harmony. And if you can't feel it and get in where you fit in, then sit down and let me teach. We argue about the GOAT, the greatest of all time, whether it be basketball, whether it be football. You got to walk in your GOAT, man. I'm the greatest hero trainer of all times. I'm the GOAT at this here shit. I'm the GOAT at this here shit. You better be a GOAT about something. Because if you ain't no GOAT, if you ain't no GOAT about something, there go my big brother Gray. There go my big brother Goonie Gray Wood. You already know what I'm saying, Wood. He the GOAT. Hey, look, he the GOAT of oils. Third phase body oils. And I ain't saying that because he my friend. He the GOAT. He walk in it. Enzo Smith, you already know what time it is. He the GOAT at breeding them their dogs and putting that game down. And he show you. Greatest of all time. At any point, what are you the greatest of all time at? I know somebody who worked for a company. They got a patent. Can't nobody produce that part of that piece but that company. That company has a demand and value so high because it ships all around the world, and you can't get that part of that piece from nowhere but that company. That company got an operator that worked that machine. And through all the demand in the world from that part, if he take a day off, Houston, we got a problem. He the GOAT somewhere laying out of work. He the greatest producer of that part ever lived. And he laying out of work and production stop. Imagine how many of us got that power and don't even realize it. Imagine your child getting out the car to go to school, and you tell your child, I love you, have a good day. And this may sound far-fetched, but this is right on time, I'm telling you. And your child go in a building and get in a room with 15 to 30 children in that their room on that particular morning. And ain't nan child, including the teacher, had somebody tell them, I love you, have a good day. Don't you know you one of the greatest fathers, the greatest mothers? Who has a child in their school? Don't you know when your wife go to work and everybody in there is bitter, mean, sad, and mad, and you tell your wife before you leave out the door, and she tell you, y'all hug and y'all kiss, and you say, I love you, baby, and you just on one mission to break away, to get what it needs to make a way, and your mission is to get back home and come through that door and say, baby, good God Almighty, I'm glad to be home, and they greet you with a kiss. Don't you know that your husband, your wife, could be the only one in the whole building that is truly there standing in love? Thankful they got one of the greatest husbands and wives out here in this here world. You better be great. I ain't talking about become great. I'm talking about wake up every day and be the greatest you can be. Can't nobody hero train better than me. I'm the master. Alexa, who is the master?
The Honorable Trav P.
I ain't lying. I ain't lying. That's what my granddad used to say. I ain't lying. You already know what it is, Big Brother Wood. If you don't believe in yourself, this is the first show of the year. 100 episodes. We on a new cycle. It's one. So I'm going to tell you, like I told you on day one, you got to wake up and be great in the mirror. It's all about the mirror work. When you start your day and look in your own eyes and you begin to brush your teeth and wash your face, when you take it all off and you looking at that mirror and you look in your eyes and you telling yourself, I am strong, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am enough, I am great, I am all those things. And then you walk out the bathroom and you be it. Quick story. Me and my wife had a conversation about prayer. I like to refer to it in an awkward way to say, I don't pray. And some people hear that and say, well, what you mean? I told you the question is way more powerful than the answer sometimes. I say, well, when we get real about it, praying ain't nothing but you having a conversation in your mind with some true logic and hopefully your true emotions. I say, but you ain't hearing nothing but your own thoughts. I say, so let me ask you a question. What's the difference between that and thinking? Nothing. So no, I don't pray. I just constantly think. And I just constantly think about God, love, and life. And when I say God, love, and life, I'm talking about the conglomerate of everything working right in order. When I can see my son growing, and I can see my daughter growing, and I can see my wife happy and at peace, and I can see everything that we desire coming together. Oh, that's the conglomerate of God. And it's a whole bunch of things that goes into making that happen right. So I'm just committed and fully committed in all of my thoughts of being at least the part that I'm supposed to be in that to make that happen. I'm constantly thinking about that. So now I don't pray. I just constantly think to play my part and do the right thing and make the best decision, knowing that every decision I make, my wife and my children depended on me. But my wife say, well, just pray one time. I say, okay, baby. I say, okay. So the other night we were laying in the bed. Before we go to sleep, I said, baby, I'm finna pray. So I say, almighty power of law and order, please listen to me. May everything I want, need, and desire be given to me. I said it 20 times, like I was in the gym. I said, almighty power of law and order, please listen to me. May everything I want, need, and desire be given to me. And I went to sleep. I woke up the next day at work. My daddy called me. He said, hey, man, you know, Brewer, where you pick up the tires, it's an old company that I did business with when I had my tire route. So, you know, his daddy died. And he had a garage that he wanted us to clean out. I'm going to clean it out. But I went over there to check it out, and he says, Daddy, before he died, had just bought a brand new riding lawnmower that ain't cut a string of grass. And the first thing I say, Trav need a lawnmower. He say, it's yours, man. I looked at the phone. I said, almighty power of law and order, please listen to me. May all the things I want, desire, and need be given to me. I said, baby, I'm going to pray some more. Good God Almighty. She said, I hope you get it because you deserve it, baby. You deserve all you desire, want, and need. She was the greatest wife I ever could imagine when she told me that. See how easy it is to be great. To be great, not become great. I'm talking about to be great. It's easy to be great. It's hard to become great. It's hard to become great. See, if I'm trying to become great at this here thing called hero training, then, oh, man, yeah. Man, let me tell you something, man. Man, I'll stand in a room flat-footed with anybody on planet Earth. I'm talking about the whole world, man, and kick my heel ism, man, and stand on it. Take my band, man, with Hero, with Hood Soul, and go before or after anybody on planet Earth, man, and drop that Hood Soul like the mothership, man. I'm talking about the greatest in the world, Craig. Now, some people that know me say that ain't possible simply because they know me. And they saying, how can he be great and he know me? Well, I'm saying, if I know you, then I know you great, because everybody in my movie, everybody that's been a part of my cast, that's been a part of my experience, that's who been divined across my path, is A-list class people that are some of the greatest people on earth. Even my antagonists and those that have put themselves and be my opposition, they have been necessary to play a part in me proving my greatness. Same thing about you. So it's easy to be great, but it's hard to become great. Hard to become great, man. But it's easy to be great. That's some deep shit right there. I'm going to close out on this one right here, man. When you go against the grain of realness, you get splinters up your ass. When you reject the sunlight, it get dark. I don't talk sports much, but I look at Carolina Panthers and what they did to Steve Wilkes. It was true politics. There was no logical reason that man didn't get the opportunity to prove himself with the momentum that he created. They purposely went against the grain of order. Oh, they got splinters in their ass and it got dark. See, when you great and you know you add value and you know you got a quality man, When people go against their grain, man, they get splinters up their ass and they reject the light, and oh, it gets so dark. And you can empathize and sympathize with them their splinters as you watching them up their ass, but it ain't nothing you can do until they stand in them own self mirror and be real enough with themselves to get back in the line with that grain so the light can be right. But you ain't gonna know that if you scared to be great. You ain't gonna know that if you scared to be great. They showed you this in the movie Nutty Professor. Sherman was a smart guy, but Sherman had a whole lot of self-confidence issues, and Sherman just wasn't going to never be the great him he could be. He had a lot of potential inside of him, but he took that juice, and Buddy Love came out, and Buddy Love showed Sherman how great and powerful he was in the inside. Buddy Love pulled the prettiest girl. Buddy Love had all the confidence in the world. Sherman became being addicted to Buddy Love. All Buddy Love felt so great. But Buddy Love didn't have the balance of Sherman, who had the smartness, who had all the things of compassion to give him balance. Buddy Love had just been trapped away for so long, he got out and said, Sherman, you ain't gonna deny me. Man, we ain't had no ass yet. I'll be damned if I'm going back to being Sherman, and I got the prettiest woman in the movie. Don't make Buddy Love bad, because Buddy Love is necessary. Buddy Love was the greater part of Sherman that he was ashamed to be. In 2024, we're going to let Sherman go. We're going to let Buddy Love come out. And we're going to let them understand that they got to get along. See, that's the me, myself, and I. This is the I. This is the me, this is myself. See, if me and myself be at odds with each other, if me and myself is always at war, then I be fucked up. And I can't never be great. And I just can't get it right. And oh man, I'm depressed. I'm everything. But if me and myself come to grips, I'm great. I'm powerful. I'm strong. I'm loved. I don't want you to buy a shirt from me. Even if you do, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But I want you to create your own logo. And I want you to wear your logo on your chest every day, or however you wear it to represent. I want you to be a hero in your own world. So you had Batman, you had Superman, you had Spider-Man, you had all these superhero men that had a narrative of saving the world, but the only world that they saved was the one that they was in. See, in my world, they call me daddy. They call me husband. I'm a great, mighty superhero. So I don't want you to follow me. I don't come on here on Thursday and call this a huddle to pimp on you for you to follow me. I want you to be. I want you to be. I want you to be. I don't want you to follow no man. In fact, if you pay me some attention and you've been on here this long, I hope that I blow a spell in your ears and I put something in your soul that make you unfit to follow any man, but to stand beside every man as a brother, as a soldier, to say, let's fight this here good fight, because we all we got, we all we need. And if the preacher man stand before you and say the power invested in him, and he ain't real enough to tell you that you got the power, I want you to know that you got it, and tell him, they say very few are called, many are called, but few are chosen. I'm the chosen one. I ain't saying I'm the only one, but I'm one of the ones. And I'll prove it every chance I get. I'll prove it every chance I get. I'll prove it every chance I get. And every day that I wake up and rise just like the sun do, because I'm a son too. I'm a son, and I rise just like the sun do, and I do what the sun do, because I'm a son too. And I ain't saying that to be tricky. I'm saying that because I'm saying that's what it is. You a son and I'm a son too. And I rise every day and do what the son do. Prove I'm great to those who depend on me. Sister, they call Mother Earth. They call her the ground because she harnessed everything that the sun sent down. They call her Mother Earth. They call her the ground because she harnessed all the rays that the sun sent down. God is a man in the sky because his water come down into the ground. His water come down into the ground. You know what that means. You know what that means. His water comes down in the ground. Once his water go down in the ground, his fruit come up like a tree. This ain't something you got to become. This is something you got to be. And if you just wake up and be it, man. If you just wake up and be it, I'm talking about effortlessly. It don't require, you just got to wake up and be it, man. You will be great. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. If you are that one, you are enough. I ain't got to be great to millions. I know I'm great to 3. I know I'm great to 3. Cuz Shantae, I love you, cuz. Be strong, stay strong. You in a trying time. You in a test. I believe in you. I believe you gonna pass. I believe you being what it takes to pass. What we consider negative, what we consider wrong, what we consider hurt, what we consider loss, all of these are associated with the negative side. I told you it takes 2 to make a thing go right. What's negative is a polarity. It's the part of the ground. It's necessary. It's what holds you down. It's what holds you down. The bigger the ground, the stronger the fire. The connection between the two is you. See how that works? Do you see how that works? The bigger the ground, the stronger the fire. The connection between the two is you. Should I? Should I not? I want to quit. No, you don't. I'm tired of this disrespect. I'm finna blank. Hold your horses. When they can have a legitimate conversation, that's when you become great, and that's when you be great. And that's when it becomes effortless. I'm going to get out of here, man. Want to give a shout out to everybody that showed me some love tonight, man. Like I said, it's the first show of the year. Great. It's the first show of the year. This is my 100th episode. This is my 100th episode. For 100 weeks, I've been coming on here, Hero Training. 100 weeks. I ain't got to say nothing. I ain't got to say nothing. It's 100 hours wrote on the side of a pyramid called Hero Training. It's 100 hours. It's 100 hours of hero training wrote on the side of a pyramid. If you ever wanted to know what Trav be talking about when he say hero training, it's 100 hours. That's great to me. And just like my wife just said, that's great to her. And when you know what matters and who matters, man, when you know what matters and who matters, man, love it becomes so easy, brother. Love becomes so easy, sister. This real, man. This real, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I can't do it without y'all, man. I need y'all. Some people like to say, some people say, man, he just want attention. He just, y'all, man, who don't need attention, man? Look how we've become ashamed to say what we need. I need attention, yeah. I need attention. I want attention. Attention is the most powerful thing you can pay. But guess what? If you pay me some attention, I promise you I give you the greatest power that's invested in me. So I can stand in that mirror every morning and brush my teeth, man. Brush my teeth, man, with pride and wash my face, man, and look in them their eyes of mine. And say, hey, baby, we got another day. We got another episode, Trav. Let's go out here and make it the greatest story ever told, man. I love y'all, man. I love you, man. I have grown into a better me. I'm growing, baby. I'm better than who I used to be. We got new music coming out all year long, too, man. We got new music coming out all year long. You know what I'm saying? Alexa, what is the greatest music?
The best music is subjective and can vary depending on personal taste. Some people may prefer
Alexa,
classical music, while
Alexa,
others may prefer rock or pop.
Alexa,
The music that resonates.
Alexa,
with
stop.
the best.
Yeah, Alexa say, man, I thought you finna go out. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do that anyway. Yeah, that's how we gonna go out, just like that on Alexa. Hold me down. I love y'all. A little bit of humor at the end. Next week, we gonna do it again. Yeah, baby.